I just think that he's been asked to do so much since he was, 16, 17,
Yeah.
that the public view on him has kind of wavered. And like this summer has an effect on people's thoughts of him as well, because he didn't show up for the Gold Cup.
Yep.
But he's the best thing I think he's the best thing that's happened to the Federation. We've just been unlucky with the people at the helm, unfortunately.
Could you imagine if he didn't exist right now, where we'd be? We would be looking at 2026 going, what are we going to do? We just have an average team of some good players.
Yeah.
This is the guy that can make a difference. This is the guy that can step in, score goals, propel the team forward. He's Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey combined, in my opinion. He is that good. And he's a silent, quiet type leader. So I'm in agreement with you. I think he's the best player to be produced by the U.S. I think he's the keys to us going forward in the World Cup and doing well. God, we can only hope he stays healthy through this season at AC Milan.
Yeah,
and then
fingers crossed
this summer. Yeah, fingers crossed for sure. All right. Any last thoughts on the U.S. men's national team and the upcoming games, boys, before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah,
just don't get smoked, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Del. Yeah.
I know, I was just going to say, just don't get smoked, and I'll be all right. Go ahead, Brooks.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I would like to see them win one of these games pretty handedly, whether that's Australia and Ecuador. I feel like, I mean, listen, the Australians, when they're qualifying and, and their stuff over with Japan and everyone, I mean, that's not an easy place to qualify. That's a difficult time and to qualify and get in. So, and their standings over there and for the Asian qualifiers, they sit second in their group C at 19 points, Japan with 23. Saudi Arabia is right behind them. So, you got South Korea, you got, Iran's been in the World Cup, you got a bunch of different ones of good quality national teams that qualify over there. So people shouldn't look at Australia as like a weak match, and they may play more direct than maybe Ecuador. But, Ecuador is going to be a physical opponent. So is Australia. You're going to have to learn how to deal with it. And it's a friendly, but you're going to get kicked. You're going to, this will be treated, I feel like, as not just like everyone's playing soft. I mean, there's going to be guys probably laying into tackles a bit here. So, like, I would just like to see them win one comfortably. And then if they need to draw or come back or something, or, maybe have a sloppy first half, and then they pick it up in the second half, that's pretty encouraging if that has to happen. But obviously I'd like to have, not, easy wins, I guess you say, right? But they look comfortable. They know what they're doing. And you can see Pochettino and the work the staff's done, is showing, and I think what that means to me is that it's not like the Berhalter era where it was systematic. You had to move, another guy had to move in order for things to work. It's soccer. It's, you react off people's movements. You may have to keep the ball a little longer, but it's their creativity, the players on the field, that then dictate the game, not necessarily the tactics and everything that the coach has set. That's what I hope I see in both these games. So,
all right. Good thoughts, fellas. All right, moving on here. I want to talk about the two European games that have now been scheduled for here in the USA. So this is the first time this has ever happened. And any of the domestic leagues in Europe, they've always played in their home countries, right? So Villarreal and Barcelona are actually coming here to the USA. They're going to play in Miami in December. That is a league game. And then in February, AC Milan and Como are going to be playing in Australia. So sorry if I misspoke there.